Alright, we're working on Excel Chapter 3 spreadsheets. So after you download your data, you should see this. You got two pages here, expenses and projected decreases. This should be pretty quick. Looks like we only have 18 steps, but there's a lot of different stuff in here. We're going to be making charts, and there's a pretty hard formula at the end, so try to take note of that when I explain it. It's a little hard, and it might be something we'll use in future chapters. Alright, so step 1 is download the instructions and the data here. Step 2, in the expense worksheet, which we are on, calculate roll totals for each expense item in the range F5 to F9. So it wants us to add up these rows right here, F5 through 9. So to do that, click on the first cell here, F5. Go to your formulas tab up here and hit auto sum. And it automatically brings up the sum for B5 to E5, which is what we want. If it doesn't do it automatically for you, just go ahead and click this and drag it over till you have these all highlighted. Hit enter, and there's your total. So instead of doing that for each cell here, which you can, but it'll make life a lot easier if you put your cursor over in this little corner towards the black plus sign. Left click it and hold it and drag it on down to F9. And it calculates the total for all of these right here. Alright, let's see what's next. Calculate column totals for each quarter in the annual total in the range B10, F10. Alright, so it wants us now to calculate the columns here. So, same thing as we did last time. Put the equal sign. Whoa, sorry. Make sure you're on your formulas tab. Hit auto sum. And it looks like it automatically highlighted it for me. If it doesn't for you, just highlight this column. Enter. And to make life easier, put your cursor towards the black sign, left click, and drag it over. There we go. We are now finished with this. Now we could go on to step 3. And it says in cell G5, let's find G5 here, G5. Construct a formula to calculate the percentage of total by dividing the annual total for sales and benefits. So here's the annual total for salaries and benefits. Divide that by the annual total for totals by quarter. So it wants us to take this number and divide it by that to get a percentage. Alright, so to do that, let's hit our equal sign. Click this number. Hit our backslash here, that's the divide sign. And we're dividing it by the annual totals by quarter. So totals by quarter, annual total, right there. Make sure after you do that, you hit your F4 so it gets these dollar signs. Hit enter. And there you go, there's your percentage. Put your cursor on the bottom corner here and drag it down. Well, let's go to our home page here because it wants us to format the results in percentage style. So we'll go to home tab and hit the percentage. And it says then center it. So all we have to do is click this. And that's it. That is number 3. Step 4. Ooh, looks like we're getting into the pie charts. This should be exciting. Alright, use the 3D pie chart to Chart the annual total for each item. Alright, so you're going to highlight these names right here. Hit your control button and hold it down. And then highlight the annual totals. So this one right here. So we want those two columns. So let me explain that again. Highlight this, so left click, drag it down till it's highlighted. And before you let go, hold down your control button. Now you can let go. Now left click this, hold it and drag it down while you're still having your control button held down as well. Alright, so you got the two columns highlighted there. Those are the two columns we're going to use to make our pie chart. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over here to our Insert tab. And you're going to see the chart column here. Or charts group. And right here, the thing that looks like a little pie, just click on it. And go to 3D pie. Voila. The next part of this step says that we want to move the chart to a new sheet and then name the sheet Annual Expenses Chart. Alright, so when you made the chart, it brought up this design tab right here. So if you look right over here to location, just click on Move Chart and you'll get this window that pops up. We want to make a new sheet for it. And we want to name that new sheet Annual Expenses Chart. And hit OK. And it'll automatically put that in the new sheet we just made. There it is. We're in a new sheet. So if you look at the bottom of your screen here, we have a new sheet right here called Annual Expenses Chart. Alright, we're going to be working in this sheet for a little bit. We are done with step 4, flying through this stuff. Alright, step 5, for the chart title, which is right here, type in Summary of Annual Expenses. So just double click this, double left click, and now it's highlighted, so double click it again. Let's get rid of that, let's delete that. Alright, so let's type in our new title, Summary of Annual Expenses. Alright. Now it says to format the chart title using Words, Art, Style, Fill. Alright, so double click this so it's highlighted. There we go. And we're going to go to Word Chart. So go to the Format tab right here. And here's our Word Art Styles right here. So we're going to be dealing with this box. So if you hit this arrow, it's going to give us a ton more options. Our directions say we want the blue accent 1 shadow. It says it's in the first row, second one. So here's the first row, second one. Hover over it. Blue, accent color 1, shadow. Yep, that looks like it's about right. So click on it. See, turn a nice little blue color. Then it says change the chart title font to 28. So with this still highlighted, right click it. Go to font. And if you come over here under size, just double click this. Or you can just hit this arrow here. Makes life easier if you just get rid of that and hit 28 and just hit enter or OK. There we go. Now it's 20. The font size is 28, and that is step 5. Step 6, remove the legend from the chart and then add data labels. Format it so that only the category name and percentage display positioned in the center. Well, it sounded like a lot, but it's pretty easy. So click on your chart, and when you click on your chart, you'll see these options start coming up here. Click this big green one right here. So when you click on it, you'll see this. So you'll see this is checked. It wants us to get rid of that. So uncheck it. Now go to data labels right here. And see this arrow right here? Click on it. And go all the way down until you get to more options. Alright, so when you click more options, it brings up this window right here. So we are going to deal with this window. Alright, so this last one right here looks like some column bars, and if you hover over it, it'll say label options. This is what we want. So there's two things here. It's the first one we want, so just click on it. It'll bring down a bunch of options. So the directions say we want the category name, and we want the percentage to display. So right now we got show leader lines and values. It says nothing about that, so let's uncheck those. Oh, looks like once we unchecked the value, those went away. Alright, so we want category name. We don't want show leader line, so get rid of that. And we want percentage. See, they showed up already right here. Looks pretty neat. Alright, what else does it want? It wants us to display positioned in the center. So if you come over here to label position, just all it wants you to do is click center here. And it says change the data labels font to size 12 and apply bold italic. Alright, let me try to remember how to do that. Yep, we can just right click it here, go to font, and it said bold italic. So font style, just click the arrow, bold italic, and it says it wants font size 12. So let's make it font and hit OK. There we go. Changed all of them. Bold italic, 12-point font. And I believe that is step 6. Alright, so let's go to step 7. Format the data series using 3D format effect. Alright, so let's get rid of this. X that out. Not dealing with that anymore. And I clicked anywhere right here because if you saw these boxes were all highlighted, we don't want to do anything with that anymore. So just click anywhere outside of the chart and it all disappears. Alright, so we're going to format the data series using a 3D format effect. And we are on step number 7. So double click anywhere. It'll be right here. It's fine. Sorry. Don't click anywhere right here. Don't click anywhere. Click anywhere in the pie. So double click anywhere in the pie. So if you double click anywhere right here, it deals with format chart area. We want to click in the pie chart because when we do that, it just format data series. It's exactly what we want right there. Alright, so mine by default brings me over here. Oh, give me 1 second. Let me read the directions again. Format the 3D. Alright, so we're going to click Effects and then click 3D Format. There we go. That's what I want right there. Sorry about that. I write down notes and I was trying to figure out where it was. So, by default, let's start over again on that one. So click anywhere on the pie right here. You don't want to click right here because you click right here, it's going to bring up format chart area. Click anywhere on the pie, format data series. So this middle one right here it says, if you hover over it, it says effects. That's what we want. And then you're going to see right here on the bottom 3D format. So click on that. Alright. This is where we want to be now. Alright, so now it says change the top bevel and bottom bevel to circle. So here's the top, here's the bottom. Let's change these to circles. There's really not anything that says circle. So I'm just assuming that it means round. And if we get points taken off for that, it's fine. I'll give you points. Alright, so come over here to this one and click round again. Alright, so now we got the top and the bottom bevel to circle, quotation, round. Now it says set the top bevel width and height to 50. So here's width and height. Let's change this to 50. Let's double click it, erase it, 50. Same thing for this. Delete it, put 50, and enter. Alright, so now it says for the bottom bevel width and height, put 256. Alright, 256. And let's put the height at 256. And hit enter. There we go. And now our pie looks really weird and flat. But that's alright. We're going to do more to it and it'll look nice and pretty when we're done. Okay, so last part of step 7 is to change the material. So here's the material right here. Change the material to the force standard effect, which is called metal. Alright, so let's click on this and find it. Your standard effect right here, and it says it's the fourth one. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we hover over it, it does say metal, so let's click on it. And it just kind of changed the outside here. Alright. That is step 7. We are done. So let's X out of this. Step 8. Display the series option and then set the angle of the first slice to 125 so that the salaries and benefits slice is in the front of the pie. Alright, let's double click on our chart here. Alright. Looks like we're going to want to double click on the pie again. And if you look at this last one right here, and if you hover over it, it says series options. That's what we want there. We're going to be dealing with this right here. Since we want the angle to be 125, let's just come over here, delete the 0, put 125, and enter. So when we do that, it brings the salaries and benefits up to the front of the page of the pie. Alright, so now it says select the salaries and benefits slice. Alright. So if you click on the format tab here, if you look over here, this is a good way to see what part of the pie you select. So if I were to select this part of the pie, you can see up here it says materials. If I click right here, I'm in machinery. Right here, professional. So we want this one right here. And it says right here, salaries and benefits. So we're on this part of the pie right now. Says, and then we're going to be dealing with this pie slice, then explode the slice by 10%. So you see right here, when we select a piece of the pie, we got point, explosion. We're going to change that to 10% here. Alright. It's pretty cool. It just kind of takes the piece of the pie and cuts it away from the rest of it. Now it says change the fill color of the salaries and benefits slice to solid fill using green accent 6 lighter 40. Alright, so if we come over here to the paint bucket, we're going to go to fill and click on solid fill. And then you can go ahead and pick your color. And it says it wants green lighter 40. It says it's in the last column, the 4th color. So here's the last column. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, there it is. Click on it. And now you see that our slice of pie changed colors. It's a pretty ugly color, but it'll do for now. And that looks like that's the end of step 8. Now we can move on to step 9. Format the chart area by applying a granite fill using the preset Granite's Light Granite Accent 4. Alright, so let's get there first. So let's X out of that. So it wants us to start doing stuff with the chart area. So now let's double click this chart area here. You see our options popped up over on this right hand side. So let's go over to our paint bucket. And it said I wanted the granite fill. So let's click on that. And it wants us to use the preset ones. So let's use this preset one. And let's pick our color that it wants. It wants light accent 4. Yep, so this yellow one right here. Whoops. So one thing I did wrong, I'm still selected on my salaries and benefits, so I changed the color to that. So I messed up on that. Let's go back. I want to deal with my chart. See, there we go. Now it says chart area. So let's go ahead and do that again. Granite fill. And we want to change it to yellow. There we go. Now it's a nice little yellow color. Now it wants us to format the border of the chart area by adding a solid line border using gold. Alright, so if you could scroll down here, so just scroll down a little bit here. You'll see border, so let's click it. Now we can scroll down a little bit more. It said we wanted a solid line, so let's click on solid line. It wanted us to have it gold. So let's find gold. There it is right there. And this one's a little different because it wants us to put this as a 5-point width. So here's our width. Let's change this to 5. And enter. And there you go. Now you can see our border here. It's pretty dark. And we are done with step 9. Alright, so step 10. Display the page setup dialog box, and then for this chart sheet, insert a custom footer in the left section with the file name. Alright, we've done this a million times now. So let's go to page layout. Here's page setup. Let's click this little arrow in the corner. Alright, so we're going to go to our headers and footers, custom footer, and right here is insert file name. And that's it. Hit OK. That is step 10. Cruising along. We're in step 11 now. Oh, we can hit OK. Get rid of this box. Alright, so step 11 says display the expense worksheet. So we're done with charts. You made your charts. Looks pretty cool. I would have made it a lot cooler. It looks really weird and flat, and kind of looks like a really small cheese wheel, and the colors are pretty ugly. But this is what I wanted. So hopefully if you ever do a pie chart in the future, you get a little bit more creative than this. Alright, so let's go to our expense worksheet here. And we still got this highlighted, so let's just click anywhere to get rid of that. Alright, it says by using the quarter names and the totals by quarter, insert a line with markers chart in the worksheet. Alright, so we just did a pie chart with this and this. Now it wants us to deal with quarters and the quarter total. So let's highlight this. So click on it, left click, and hold it down and drag it across. Alright, and let go. So hit your control button and hold it down. Don't let go of it. At the same time, left click this cell and don't let go of that left click. So right now you're holding control, you're holding your left click, and drag it across. And let go of them both. Alright, so we are going to our insert tab. And we want to go to our charts area here. Don't get confused, because we got line charts right here, and this line right here, that's spark lines. So spark lines and line charts, there's a difference there. So make sure you're going to your group charts and then clicking on the lines. Once you click on your lines, you're going to get a couple options here. It looks like our directions want us to insert the line with markers chart. So let's find the one that has markers. So markers pretty much just means these little dots here. So it's one of these three. So this one, if you hover over it, says 100% stacked lines. No. Lines with markers. There we go. So click on that. We get our nice little pretty chart here. Now it says that we want to move this chart so its upper left corner is positioned slightly inside the upper left corner of A12. Alright, so if you left click this and hold it, you could drag this wherever you want. So let's find A12 and want it slightly inside the upper left corner of A12. So I am guessing about right there. It looks like it's in the upper left corner of A12, right? And if you let go, it stays there. As the chart title, type City Pacifica Bay Annual Expense Summary. So double click this. Now our chart's highlighted, so double click it again, and you can just backspace. And let's type in our new title hit here. And hit enter. Well, actually don't hit enter. Backspace that. And click off of it. There we go. That concludes step 11. Now we're on to step 12. Sorry, gotta get my notes situated. Alright, step 12. It says to format the borders of the vertical value axes. So this is the vertical axis right here. This is horizontal, this is vertical. We're going to format it so that the minimum is 2100,000 and the major unit is at 50,000. 500,000. No, 50,000, sorry. Alright, who cares what number it is, but I'll show you guys how to do that. Alright, so click right here. Yep, click right there until your vertical axis is highlighted. See how there's a box around it now? That's what we want. As soon as that's highlighted, you'll see we get our options over here. Alright, so let's see here. There we go. Go to your last option here. It looks like the little chart column bars here. If you hover over it, it's going to say Axes Options. So when you see the arrow right here, just click on that and it's going to bring down some options for you. So here's where it wants you to change it to the 2100,000. So just click on it, delete it, and it's 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, now it says for the units, the major, which is right, units, major, we're going to change this one to 50,000. And hit enter. Alright, so what else does it want us to do? It says format the fill of the chart area with a gradient fill. Alright, so we're done with this. Let's X out of this. So now it wants us to do stuff with the chart area. See how I highlight it? Anywhere on your chart right here it says chart area, click that. Double click it. Alright, now we can get options for formatting the chart area. So it wants this. Oh no, not another ugly yellow. Hopefully it lets us change the color. It wants us to apply the preset. So here's preset. And it wants the color that's in the first row and the third one. So first row, 1, 2, 3, third one, which is light granite accent 3. So this is it right here, and that looks way better than yellow. Now it wants us to format the plot area. So the plot area is basically anywhere with these lines. So if you click anywhere with those lines, this is the plot area right here. See not how the box with the lines in it is highlighted, and we got their options over here for formatting plot area. So it looks like it wants us to use a solid fill, and it wants us to use white. So we'll click over here on color and click on white, and there we go. That is it for step 12. So we can X out of that, click anywhere on our worksheet so we're not having the chart highlighted anymore. So we're about to start step 13, but for now we have this sheet right here with our pie chart, and for expenses we have our annual total, total for quarters, percentages, and we made this nice little line chart here. We made it blue, made the inside white. Alright, so let's start on step 13 right here. So I'm not gonna lie, step 13, 14, 15, and 16 gets into some formulas. A little bit of some math problems. It gets kind of tough, but I'm gonna walk you through it. I really urge you to take notes because we might use these formulas in future chapters. So my videos are made to help you guys through the homework, but you still have your regular assignment to do on your own. So make sure to take note on how to do these so you can remember and do it on your own. After watching these videos, I don't really expect you guys to call me over and ask me a bunch of questions because I'm telling you right now how to do these things. Your assignments are the same as your homework assignments. It's just different data. Alright, so with that being said, let's start with step 13. Alright, so copy the annual total in cell F10. So let's find, here's 10, F10. So let's right click and copy it. Now you can see it's green and it has these little white dots floating around it now. That just lets you know you have that cell copied. It says use paste special to paste values and numbers formatting in cell B35. Let's scroll down to B35 right here. And we're going to use the paste special. So right click. See right here's paste special. So hover over the arrow. You don't have to click the arrow, just hover over it. And you'll see paste, and then you see paste values. So this second one right here is the values and number formatting. That's what we want to paste this number. So click on that. So what this means, paste special, let me show you guys here. So if we click on this cell right here, double click it, we got a formula in here because we did a sum of all these numbers right here. So what paste special means is that when we copy that and we're pasting it, double click this, there's no formula. So paste special pretty much means that you're pasting it without the formula attached to it. Alright, so the rest of step 13 says in cell C35, which is right here, construct a formula to calculate the projected expenses after the forecasted increase of 3.5% in cell B1 is applied. So what this means is we got our annual total. Let's think back to accounting. Our annual total for the year is this number right here, which is 2016. That's what year we are in right now in our worksheet. We're in 2016, and we know that our projected expenses is this. So what we want to know is we want to forecast what the rest of these years are going to be. We don't know for sure because we can't jump to the future, but we can make a projected forecast. And my sales associates say that the forecast should increase by 3.5%. That's why it's saying to, I think in the directions that it referred to it as the cell 31 is applied. So all it's talking about is we need to make a formula here to project the sales forecast at 3.5%. Alright, so you guys ready to do this now? Alright, so let's hit the equal sign here. Now we're going to take this number, so click on this number, and we're going to times it. So times it is the star. If you look on your keyboard, number 8, hit shift and number 8. You're going to get the star. That means multiply. Make parentheses. put 100%. Don't forget the percent sign. Put your plus sign. And this next part right here, we're going to put in our projected forecast increase, which is this. So you can click on that. Now, don't forget to hit your F4 key for this. So F4. If you guys are at home using a laptop, which I am right now, hitting F4 doesn't work for me on my laptop. I had to hit the key FN and then F4. So just a little side note for you guys. I don't know why, but it works fine on desktop just hitting F4, but on my laptop I have to hit the FN key and hold it down and then hit F4. Alright, so we're going to put another parentheses to close it up and hit enter. So congratulations, you just made a formula to project next year's forecast. Alright, so the directions now says fill the formula through cell F35 and then use format printer to copy the formatting from cell B35 to ranges C35 to F35. Alright, so it wants us to drag this over to F35, but if you do that, you're just going to get these little lines and everything. It doesn't work. So let's hit backspace here. It wants us to format this now so we can be able to drag this over. So to do that, let's click on F30 or B35 right now. Let's right click it. Come over here till you see this little paintbrush. Alright. And all you gotta do is click right here. Now we'll be able to drag this over. Voila. Pretty neat, right? So doing that formatting let us copy this over, and it helped us copy this over because of what we did with our formula. It didn't work the first time because our formula we put in here was messing it all up. So we had to go over and do our formula, our format printer right here. Our format printer, sorry. I kept calling it a printer. Alright, so now we're good. Hopefully you guys got all that information. I am going to backspace here, and I'm going to do that one more time. So what this wants us to do is it wants us to copy this. So right click, copy. Come over to here to B35 and paste it right here. Okay. Now we're going to put in our formula in C35. So equal this times parentheses 100% plus this F4, close our parentheses and hit equal. Oops. Sorry. There we go. Come over here, right click, format painter, click C35, And now we can come over here and drag it over. Now it's pretty easy when you see it done, but when you're reading the directions, it reads pretty complicated. So I hope that made a little bit more sense for you guys. And I hope you write that formula down. So the formula basically was, we're taking last year's sales, we're timesing it by 100% plus our forecasted percentage, and it equals this. So that looks like that concludes step 13. Now let's go on to 14. It wants us to change the worksheet to landscape. So let's go to page layout here. You can change the landscape a few different ways. You can just click right here and hit landscape. You can click right here and go to page and hit landscape. You can click this arrow right here. Hit landscape here. Any way your little heart desires, you can hit landscape. Alright, so now we want to use scale to fit options. So, sorry, my computer's freezing on me right now. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit that. You did print preview right here. And also through print preview, you can change it to landscape this way as well, which is probably easier because whatever else we're going to do is on this page. So you go to custom scaling. We're going to go to more options here. See, we're in landscaping. It wants us to make it horizontal. It also wants us to put in a footer. So custom footer. And file. Hit OK. And that's just something we do a million times. Hit OK. And we want, and that's good. So you can just hit back here. And if you come over here to scale to fit, it says in our directions it wants the height to be one page. So let's come over here to height, scale to fit, height. If you click on this arrow, you can just put one page. And that's it. That's all we have to do for 14. It just says change it to landscape, make the height one page, and center the worksheet horizontally, and put the custom footer in. So that was it. Alright, so 15. Back to some formulas here. Display the projected decrease worksheet. Just go over here. In cell C5, calculate the percentage of total for the first expense. Alright, so I can't remember what chapter it was. It was 1 or 2 where we had to do a formula for a percentage. All you have to do is hit equal and click your percentage or your formula, your data here. We're going to divide it by the total. Don't forget to hit your F4 and hit equal. And we're just going to bring it down so we don't have to do the formula for every one. And our directions say to make it percentage style. So let's go to our home tab and hit percent. And that's it. That's step 15. Oh my god, 3 more steps. We're almost there. Alright, number 16. Copy cell B8. Let's find B8. So B8 is professional services, the annual total. So let's right click and let's copy. And remember, when we copy, it's a green line around it and these white little dots. Now it says, then use the paste special to paste the value and number formatting to B13. Alright, so here's B13. Right click, paste special, paste values, and this middle one right here. Click it. Alright, so it says now to copy and paste cell 8 to cell 13. Alright. C8 to C13. So here's C8. Well, we need to make sure we get rid of this because we're going to mess up our formula. See, it's still highlighted. So let's click anywhere off of here. See, it's not highlighted anymore. Alright, so let's go to C8. And it wants us to copy and paste it. We don't have to do anything special with it. It's just normal copy and paste. So copy and paste. That's it. Nothing special. So this is still highlighted. Let's double click anywhere on our worksheet and make sure it's not highlighted anymore, because that can mess with your formulas. I can't tell you how many times I left things highlighted and I clicked somewhere and then it just added that cell to my formula and it just messes you all up. Alright, so with cell C13 selected, use goal seek to determine the goal amount of professional service expenses in cell B13 if the value in C13 is set to 25%. So it's kind of the same thing we did with the expenses right here, except for the formula is going to be a little bit easier. So it wants to, right now this number, the goal amount, is at 29%. So it wants to know what would our goal amount be if it was at 25%. So that's what we're going to figure out. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to go to our data right here and come over here to our group data tools. Oh, actually I lied. We want forecast right next to data tools. So you'll see right here it says what if analyst. Click on that, and the second one right here is goal seek. So it's going to say set cell, and we want to deal with cell C13 because we're choosing that cell because we want to see what that cell will make a difference on B13 if that was 25% instead of 29%. So that's the cell we're dealing with. Alright, it says so we want this one. It says to the value. This is where we're going to put 25%. So that's saying I want to see what cell 13 looks like if we make it 25%. By changing what cell? This cell right here. So you can just click right here, right there. And that's all you need. So it's saying I want to see what cell 13 is going to look like if I change it to 25%, and I want to see how much this number changes right here. So keep an eye on this number right here. When you hit OK, it's going to change. This is going to change to 25%, and this number is going to change to what the goal amount would be if it was 25% instead of 29%. So hit OK. And it tells you goal seeking with cell 13 found a solution. Target value is 25%. So hit OK. So it changed both our numbers right there. It's pretty cool. And I want to bring it up to you guys, when you hit the goal seek right here, make sure when you put this 25 in, you put 25% with the percent sign. Because earlier I just put 25, and when I put just 25, it gave me like 25,000%, and then my number was really off. So let me kind of show you what I did. So I just put 25, and I went here, and look, it went all crazy. We didn't want that. So let's go back and fix it. Goal 25% to that. Oops. Click right there. Voila. That's it. Alright, that's pretty much it. Step 17, just want you to do the norm, where it's go to your page setup. You can click here on this little arrow. It wants you to just make it horizontal, so margins, go to horizontal, and insert a custom footer. So go over here to header footer, custom, and insert file name, and that's it. Hit OK, hit OK, and that's step 17. Step 18, basically you're just saving it. So I always go to file, save as, give it a special name, Miss Hernandez, Excel, Chapter 3. Alright, and save it. Now you guys are ready to go back to your Pearson lab here, wherever it is. And you can go ahead and click on this and upload it. Upload it here. And I hope that helped. And I'll see you guys in Chapter 4.